Mine's
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay,
okay.
let me do
Okay.
that. Sorry, babe. What'd I do? Okay, there we go. Okay, so good afternoon. um, for your time. I miss you. I love you.
Yeah.
And 70 months since we last fucking spoke, and I just wanted to offer, just creative compassion, connection during this time. So I was talking to Ray like 2 days ago, and I always think about new things that we can do, to collaborate and stuff like that. And I thought that connecting during this time of captivity was just what people needed.
Yeah.
We wanted to vent, talk, just catch up. And what if you're going stir crazy in the house? You never know. What if your anxiety's kicked in? What if you love
Mhm.
it? What if you hate it? So, as an entrepreneur, and I know you're also an entrepreneur, we're always on the go, always moving. So I wanted to start out by saying, how has the quarantine been affecting you? But before we get there, tell the people who you are, what you do, where we met, and yeah, do a little introduction
Okay.
before you get crazy.
Oh, I am a woman. I have to start by saying that because I typically don't. I'm like, yeah, leave that off at the end. I am a woman who identifies as her, she, me, Urila. Urila Cave is a Brooklynite, a mom, a photographer, videographer. I make visual masterpieces of videos and photographs of almost
Mhm.
everybody you know at some point in time. Everybody, at
Right,
least once.
right.
And I am I live a quarantine life, right?
Right,
Oh wait, I go back to where we met. So I met
right.
Deborah in 94, 95,
Fucking four. Wow.
94,
Four, five.
95. Deborah was dancing, and we had a talent show at Norman Thomas High School.
Dancer on the low, but
Yes, yes. Oh, yeah. You don't know that about Ja? Ja dance. Ja can dance. Like
nobody
dance,
wants
dance.
to.
And Tamiko. Oh, that shit was the dopest thing ever. They used to bring down the house every time. Everybody wanted to see you
We know
guys.
we know.
It was the best thing ever. And since then, we've been good friends, you know? Mars 2112 through all New York City hot spots. um,
Spots every creative session we could possibly humanly think of. Right. Starting the brand, building
you
the brand.
know, anything that you put together,
Right.
dig deep.
Yes. Digging deep for a
Before
very long time now.
dig deep, do dig deep. The expansion of yes, yes, and it's coming together. Like it's all coming full. Like, all right, yes, this is exactly what all my experience has been for. Because right now is benefiting you a lot, right? So
Oh
you
my, yeah.
now haven't had any of those experiences. You might wasn't crazy. They seem perfect. They were just we weren't making these calls. Who would be? We would
Right.
be in this house doing what? I don't know, hoping somebody would talk to us, and and then sitting there like, do I call? Who do I call?
Right.
What am I gonna say? Like, because I kind of don't want to talk about what's happening, but you have to discuss it because you
Right.
have to kind of be aware. You know, you want to know what's actually happening, where people are in their minds, like who you need to bring closer because they need support, who you
Mhm.
need to just stay away from because they
Right.
they're gonna bring you down. Like all of these things are kind of necessary.
Being. I mean, that's why I
Yeah,
really wanted
thank
to.
you.
I mean, because we're like connected but not, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Feed off of each other, but sometimes we are at a disconnect because life gets in the way. And I just wanted to reconnect, and just kind of talk and see how you're handling this right now. I know you're a mom of two girls, and
Hmm.
I know your wife.
Hmm.
So, how is the effects of the school closing down affecting you personally?
Having more food in the house, having to learn TikTok dances and listen to more stories. Actually, it's not more stories. My daughter, she's a great recapper of the day. So she come home, she'll tell me everything that happened in the day. So now that she hasn't gone to school, it's like what's happened on Instagram and on house party app and it's like there's no shortage of discussion. So it's brought us closer in a way. It's been really nice. It's kind of like being on our annual family cruise trip without the extra stuff that brings you away from each other. Like, when it's time for them to be by themselves, the girls, they'll go off and to another room. If they need to be separate from each other, they'll do that. Me, I'm probably the only one that's getting like, all right, y'all need to go back to school. Like, I need y'all to stop messing up things.
Stay in your space now, because you're the
You
one
know, this is
editing.
my
Yeah.
sanctuary. That's my house because nobody's ever there but me, right? So part of me is not seriously phased yet. Like,
Right.
I started to see news about people, not people, but the military coming in on certain places, like these big black
Yeah.
trucks, and I'm just thinking like, oh,
I want
okay,
these
I
conversations with
might
my.
not have watched that movie. I might not have watched that movie, so I don't know what to do about that part. So let me just kind of like sit still and pay attention to what's going on.
Right.
Be available to them if they need me. They don't seem to be terribly affected by it because
Right.
until like right now, we haven't stopped socializing like in small circles, one or two people, you go there, you spend some time. As of today, I don't think we'll be able to do that because they're just kind of like trying to make everybody stay where they're at, which makes sense if it's something that you really don't know you don't have or not for 2 weeks. But honestly, like, my daughter had a cough that
Hmm.
lasted for a very, very long time, like
Okay.
between November and January. Like, actually, it was around Christmas time, around
Hmm.
holidays. So, like, she had that.
Hmm. So,
Yeah,
so it's just a regular flu.
it didn't really go through normal flu phases. Like, you know how it is. She did not feel well. I remember my sister-in-law bringing her Robitussin.
Hmm.
But it wasn't because she had like a super high fever. It was just she wasn't feeling well. And then she kept coughing, kept coughing, kept coughing. And I did some Reiki healing. I'm a Reiki master now. I mean, not a master.
Wait a
Things
minute.
you
Okay,
gotta go through.
hit on that topic.
Reiki,
I've been hearing that a lot more
yeah.
lately. This Reiki penetration kind of thing, and
Yes,
know
yes.
what that entails. But so basically, more conversations, more just more being in tune with the girls, since they
Hmm.
in your area that you used to having alone the better part of the day. Has your husband stopped working?
No, no, he's one of those essential people to his job and to I guess the industry that his job serves. So
Mm-hmm.
like, he's doing a lot of what they call disaster recovery work or whatever. And he's one of the foreman people in his place, so he has to kind of be there.
Okay.
Um, so no, he still gets up, goes out, we've
Right.
still handled dinner around the same time, and like, because it's been so regular, it hasn't really like hit over
Okay, that's
here.
good. That's
Yeah.
good. I
But
mean, I also think in Brooklyn and your particular community and in mine, it's not like, I mean, it's a lot of people in your area, but
mhm,
not just like gobs of people kind of hanging out. It's just like kind of people
right.
walking. It's heavy residential on your street, but then the main street. But it's been scarce anyway. You know what I'm saying? And where I'm walking at is pretty open. So I went out yesterday for maybe an
Mhm.
hour. Um,
Yeah.
but I've been pretty much in the house. So
Mhm.
I mean, as an
Mhm.
entrepreneur, not working the 9 to 5, it
Mhm.
really it really hasn't affected us as much as when
Right. So,
every day, which I want to hear from. I want to get aspects of
mhm.
people who work, um, you know, who work and have children and have
Yeah.
juggle what's going on and food supply? Do they have the money? So all of those things I want to touch on throughout this time. What are you building anything right now to launch when this is over, or you kind of like taking a little hiatus and giving the love back into yourself right now?
A little bit of both, you know. I had a lot of Mac trouble in the last few months and had to transition to Windows.
Okay.
So, my whole workflow was Mac for 10 years. I'm learning a new system now. So I'm spending this time getting familiar with Adobe Premiere and the software that comes with, you know, that program because you can kind of use that wherever you are and whatever system you have. So that's just what I've been doing because I have food photography workshops and brunch series that I wanted to host
Okay.
before this happened. Like I was really coming up with dates right
No,
about now,
no.
April and May. Like, okay.
I want to know how you got into. How are you now into food photography? How you transitioning out? Is it part of your Exploring Brooklyn series? Is it
Yes.
something you hired to do, or is it just like your newest interest?
It's a part of my newest interest because of Everyday BK. When I started going out into the world and meeting people and making these videos, coming back, creating these little masterpieces, I was like, oh, wow. I love meeting people, right?
Yeah,
Getting through,
that's the specialty.
making new relationships, you know, kind of getting to understand what people's needs are. And ultimately, what happened was I was just at lunch or having food in the restaurant, and I thought to myself it would be a lot of fun to host a food photography workshop in a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the conversation started because I was with my friend who's one of these people who just builds on an idea when you have it with more, like, oh yeah, that would be great. And if you did this and if you did that, and let me know how I can help you, kind of
Right.
thing.
Right.
So food photography has always been an interest because it's it's something you can do anytime. Like I don't need a person to be available for me to shoot what I have. I've gotten like more curious about how you can tell a story with food and ingredients.
Right.
Mostly my contribution, at least as far as the workshop is concerned, has been the photography aspect of it. Like, how you like things, positioning, exposing it, editing it, the specialty plating and all that fancy stuff, I think my was not the strongest point that I have. So my intention to
So
cure
that's
that,
the
work with
vision,
other
or
people.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
vision.
work with some chefs and food stylists,
Right.
people who have that down. Like don't waste anybody's opportunity to learn. Just invite more people in to facilitate what you're not the strongest in.
Right.
So really where I was at with that. Like the workshop was done.
Mm-hmm.
People I want to collaborate with, or could communicate it with. I had contracts ready to go, but some said wait for Mercury retrograde to be over because you just want some clarity to be there. And if there's a lot going on energetically,
Mm-hmm.
then there can have things can happen. Let's just wait. And I guess I was supposed to wait because I'd have to cancel everything right now, which is ridiculous,
Yeah.
but
Like,
it's
no
what it
way.
is. And um that's how that's affected me. I got a booking for some headshots. I won't need to touch the person and I can stand 6 feet away and I can keep shooting and paying my phone bill and making my ends meet.
Yeah.
As long as people understand, that we just won't be hugging and greeting each other normally. And it's one of the best things that could happen or I could have in my arsenal because of that. Like, people can still do what they need to do with the images. I can still maintain my lifestyle and take care of my family, and
Right.
everybody wins.
Right.
I'm grateful
Yeah.
for this tool right now and the long focus lenses that I still have and all the
As
sunlight and all the air
I
and space that we still use,
right.
and
Definitely.
so let's say you can't drive nowhere, that's when we'll be in a little bit of a situation. Like
Okay.
when you
Yeah.
absolutely can't transport yourself anywhere, then we might have a problem. But it's at least possible if I need it to be.
Definitely, definitely. It's always something you can do until you can't. And I think
Mm,
that's the everybody's still kind of calm because we can see the resources not depleted and the
Mm-hmm.
transportation not gone. And just options still available to us, which if we don't, then it
Mm-hmm.
makes us a little panicked. But it's good
Mm-hmm.
to know. I'm glad you still like, business as usual, family as usual. And yeah, we got to get an in-person session at
Yeah.
some point. I'm back in Brooklyn, so once this is over,
Okay. This
come
is
out.
home still.
No, I've been here for a month, and
Oh,
yeah, it's been great. Yeah,
sweet, 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 sweet. Well, thanks for coming back. That would be wonderful because good,
Brooklyn is my baby. Okay,
good, good. I'm
spend
glad.
the rest of the day and the rest of the weekend.
What am I doing to spend the rest of the day and the rest of the
Yeah.
weekend? Um, not much. Like I really just remembered it was Saturday today. So I don't have like any plan other than will I finally get to sit on this computer and work on this program for like an hour straight without interruption? Because that's the thing. Like something will happen and
Uh,
somebody needs my attention, or it's time to make some food because I'm hungry. It's like um
the story of things fucking take away your focus, right?
yes, exactly.
Time
But
is God.
every day, yeah, I get a little closer to understanding it. So, a little more happens the next time I visit. So, that's it. That eat, try to exercise or something, do some sit-ups somewhere.
Yeah,
Because
or not.
it's still,
You got so you got tree or you out?
oh,
How's it
I
out?
got a little.
Oh,
I got enough
okay,
for the
good.
weekend.
That's good.
I might start panicking Wednesday or something like that. But
I mean,
for
somebody
now,
better let's get over here, people. Let's do it. All right, so thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. I'm about to send you a flyer, and I'm gonna try to I want to save this footage. The interview I did yesterday, or the conversation I had yesterday, my footage got deleted. So I'm gonna stay put until I make sure that I got this. Okay.
okay. All
Um,
right.
know the slogan, dig deep, baby.
Absolutely.
All right. Hold it, hold it. Stay put. Let me see what I
All
need to
right.